when admin panel, you have three different columns, out of which the rightmost one is called as view. Now, what exactly is view? View is basically the data, raw data, which you're gonna collect and view and various, for your various properties or for your single property. So let me walk you through how usually the Google Analytics account is structured. So this is how Google Analytics account looks like. Basically, organization sits on top of account. So when I say organization, there are organizations like enterprises where you have multiple product accounts and users. So that has been organized into one single domain or entity under which different user accounts are added. When you add a user account, it directly is linked to property. So any of the property is attached with user accounts, and user accounts, once you can add one or multiple properties. So under each property, you have different views. Views refer to the data under property. So property could be your website or mobile app. Account role-based users added on the account who can view only certain things in the property. Like for example, they can view only certain reports, or they can only read or collaborate with you for your property on different views which they have. So coming back to our dashboard. So basically, I would say I'm going out of the demo account just to show you how the view looks for my property. So what I would suggest is always create a view for a raw data. So let's call it as master view, or you can also call it as raw data. So create that. I will tell you why we need to create at least 2 or 3 views and keep them under the admin tab. So once you created a master view, remember to create a test view. So I have created 2 views. One is master, other is test. So once we have different views, for each view it does take time to populate the data for your analytics. Remember, if you create these views and delete them, it is only possible by administrator to recover those data for those views or the views itself. Otherwise, the data will get purged. So remember to carefully create the views, not to go overboard with views. So once I have created 2 different views, what I will do is I will use the test view to create a filter. So what exactly is a filter? Filter is basically filtering out the data from the views which you have created. For instance, if you have a lot of internal traffic to your website, that is, if there are teams working on your website and you do not want them to be captured in your analytics. For instance, if you are running an e-commerce site, there will be a team of starting from at least 3 to 4 people, ranging up to 3,000 to 4,000 people who might work on your large scale e-commerce website. So in that case, you do not like to interfere that data with the customers or users data. So in that case, what you can do is always add a filter for exclude your internal traffic. So what I will do is exclude internal traffic, and there are different types of filters. You can use predefined one for now. exclude, you could see you can exclude from ISP domain, you can exclude IP based. So I'll choose IP and which is equal to. So if you do not know your IP, you can go and Google out your IP, just say my IP and you will get your IP. You can copy the IP and put in the address, save it. So once the filter is added, you can go ahead and check by changing the view. You can go ahead and look at the data if you are. You can select your property, select your and click on the view, click on home. Now this is running with test view filter and I have excluded my IP address from the analytics data. So even though at this moment I have a window open and I am not timed out of my session yet, the 30 minutes still I have refreshed and I am there at the website, I am still being excluded from the real-time data because I have added a filter under test view. So this is how you can start working with views and filter, and most importantly, create a raw data filter or master view filter and leave it untouched. So I'll just go ahead and create a raw data filter. The reason for doing this is because I have applied filter and I may use same filter. Once it starts working, I can use the same filter for my master view, the filter which I have created in the test view. So always create one raw data filter and leave it ideal so that whenever you need all the data to be looked at, you can utilize that. Now that the test views filter is working for me, I can use the same filter and add it to the master view. So how I can add this? I can go to the filter. I can add a filter, and here I do not need to create once more the filter. I can apply the existing filter. So I have exclude internal traffic. Once I click on save, this filter gets applied to my master view. Remember, it does take time to, when you create a new view, it does take time to populate the data.